Alright, hello, stargazers. Welcome in. How is everybody? Oh, shoot. This is gonna, yep, this is reset. Okay. There we go. Better audio. Better. Ah, I hate having to redo that every time. Hello, welcome in. Oh my goodness. Hello, Austin Fox. Hello, Void. Hello, Johnny Virgil. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Kayla Max. Hello, Sime Zero. Hello, Babylon. Hello, Daho. Hello, Zengetsu. Thank you very much for the pin. Hello, Eritane. Hello, Willow. Welcome in. How is everybody doing? Hope everybody is having a good day today. Hope everybody's having an okay Monday. Alright, let's see here. I need to save this real quick. Alright, we should be good. I might need to adjust this a little bit at some point later, because I don't remember where my layers are, because layers are confusing as heck sometimes. Okay, I think that's better. I think that's what I was looking for. Ugh, but how is everybody doing? Hope you are having a good day today. Today is gonna be pretty chill, but pretty nice. We're gonna be working on a Snap plushie. We're gonna be working on a plushie of Pram. I know that normally on streams I like to try to make it a surprise, but I was like, you know what? I think we can just do this on stream this time. I think everyone kind of knows that I want to do these when I can. So I'm not saying that they're guaranteed all the time. However, I still thought you guys would appreciate it. Did chat die on me? The heck? Hang on a sec. What's going on? I'm seeing chat moving on screen, but it's not moving in the studio thing. What is happening? All right, let me try that again. All right. Pop that out. Please behave. There we go. That's better. Chat wasn't moving on my end at all. All right. It's like, wow, everyone's really quiet today. Oh, goodness. Kappa CB, hello. Wow, literally did not see anybody's message at all. Is he chat alive on the sideline? Yeah, it died for some reason. I don't know why. Curse you, YouTube. You have problems on your end too? Ah! The scuff never goes away entirely, right? Never entirely. Oh. But I'm excited about this because I want to see what Pram is all about. I've loved her design since the very start. Used my my beginner 5-star selector on her. Very curious to learn more about her. Absolutely adore her alt, even though it kind of killed me emotionally, but that's okay. She can get away with it. She can have all the snacks. We all know why, and it's OBS updating in the background. I hope not. I don't have it set to do that. Going to floof heaven? Yes. No hello today, Star. Today is a good day. Today, good news. Today we have no... Today we heaven no? Heaven no? Today we heaven? What? Yeah, main channel because it is still AK. And you know what? I'm gonna... Even if it wasn't AK, I'm gonna try to do my best to try to get used to the idea of maybe, potentially, I don't know. I'm still very nervous about the whole main channel thing, side channel thing. It's ripping me apart for some reason. I don't know why. I wish I could get over it easier. If I explain my puns, they lose the surprise factor. What? Today's a good day. Today, good news. Today we heaven know. Veno? No hello. Today we heaven. I'm sorry, I'm being very dumb here. No, hello. Oh my. Oh, heaven. No, hello. Today we have a no. Oh my gosh. I feel like that is thematic for 2 weeks from now. Good day indeed. You finally have electricity. The gods can contain you no longer. Amazing. Amazing, Daho. Fantastic. There's the surprise factor of the pun, unless the pun is so obtuse that we're all too dumb to get it. Alright. Noted. We'll make the same pun 2 weeks from now. Sounds good. Alrighty. Let's get started on our Snepp friend here. Let's jump into our main channel. We have a base to work with. And I'll just do a rough sketch to figure out what we're doing with the base first. We'll jump in here. It doesn't look like anything yet. This is how all plushies start out. All plushies are just a base until you add more. Power came back exactly 5 minutes before stream. Oh my gosh. No, the previous ones were not streamed. I was not streaming them because, originally I wanted them to be surprise. Originally I was like, oh man, the community's gonna love this. I'm just gonna shock them with it. And now I've done it a few times, so now you guys are like, okay, we get it. It's cute. So now I'm like, yeah, you know what? We can do some of it on stream. Doesn't mean it's always going to be a stream thing. Doesn't mean I'm never gonna have another surprise in the future. Just means that, like, okay. I think people know that I'm not going to turn down making a plush of Pram of all operators, so. Let me see here. Trying to get like the base shapes first, and I'm using some of the references from the latest event that had like the stickers. I couldn't play the web event itself, but obviously we have the Discord stickers. So I'm using some of that for reference, and I'm using her regular E1 as well. I will also draw a Pram. Heck yeah! All the Pram. I'm very much a big fan of the, like, what would you even call it? I love the winter aesthetic, winter clothing, more of the cultural, garb, symbols, beading, that whole thing. I really, really love that whole look. I don't know, winter clothes are just very nice. Cold climate and very culturally significant. I really like it. I mean, I'm also very biased towards, like, Aurora, so that also probably is a factor. Not gonna lie. That probably makes a huge difference, too. Alright, let me see. Let me grab her reference here. Is it easier if I have the reference next to it so you guys can see it too? Do you like that? Alright. Let's do that real quick. That is not what I wanted at all. Okay, try that again. There we go. I like it if it's not Subway Surfers. Yeah, just so you can see, like, what I'm working with, I guess. Gives you a little bit more context into the project. I lost my white background. Where did that go? Gray background, I guess. There we go. Alright. The funny thing is, like, these started out as plushies, but I haven't, like, The only plush element of it, really, is the fact that sometimes the hair has a few stitch lines through it, but other than that, it's like, it's not super plushy feeling entirely. It's also a really good test for me because I'm not good at simplifying. So this is a really great test in learning how to simplify designs, too. I think I don't want to be that close to the sticker. I think I want to try to do it a little closer to the E1. Even if it's very, very slight, not much of a difference at all, I still want to kind of push it that way. Let me see here. Maybe make it sweeping around. Try and not make it too exact to what already exists. There we go. Sticker more squishy, E1 more gentle, just by feels. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to copy the sticker design entirely, because then there's not a point in doing this, right? Still have to add our own flair to things, I think. Although sometimes the sticker is really good at simplifying things that I don't know how to simplify, so... You know, I'm not gonna try to reinvent the wheel on everything. There's no point to. Let's see, those are actually probably a little higher. I'm also trying to not make a tangent with these hair strokes. We'll leave it for now. I just need to push them a little bit closer so that they are leaving enough room for the braids, I think. She does have a lot of hair. By the way, Star, have you seen Vivartum, the Ghibli game? I have not, no. What is... Vivartum? Vivartum? I thought the Ghibli game was, what did everyone call the Ghibli game? The one with the little forest, creature, Kuni something? Forgot now. I forget what it was now. What was that? Ni no Kuni. Ni no Kuni I thought was the Ghibli game, no? The one thing I can't learn, the one thing I haven't figured out with chibis yet is it's always so hard to do anything with the neck. You know, they, like, don't, there's not a lot of leeway with any article of clothing there. See what I can do, though. Especially when I work with a template, the problem, like, I want to use the template to keep things consistent, but the problem with the template is it doesn't really leave any room for error, so it's very hard to adjust. Probably should have made, like, a more obvious neck, but then again, when you think about, like, regular plush that you would actually purchase, it doesn't really account for that either, so... Alright, so the braids kind of go in front, yeah? Undertopia is still one of my favorite themes, but I'm not gonna lie, I did have Awaken stuck in my head, like, all this morning. So Simesir was indeed right about that. Alright. Braids are really difficult. Be very hard to do braids. I'm try my best with them. I also noticed on the chibi they're not bothering doing it, like, correctly, quote-unquote, where you have to sort of alternate them. Awaken from Fishmare to Snow Snap. Vivarium, not Vivartum. I think I've heard of Vivarium. I think that sounds familiar. What kind of music do I like? I'm very privy to epic orchestral. I really, really love epic orchestral. I really love a lot of Celtic stuff. I really love whatchamacallit? The genre that not many people know, but it's called artcore. Except artcore is, like, very hard to describe because sometimes you look up something that's labeled artcore and it's way too fast and the BPM is way too intense. But sometimes you get artcore that just feels very, very, very good, and it's kind of... You've heard it in video games a lot, but it's not very common and not easy to search. Especially without getting the kind that make your head hurt. So it's a weird, like, kind of electric, kind of orchestral, not really sure how to explain it. But that's probably my favorite genre. I forget the game that Arknight was talking about before, but there was some rhythm game where all the music is artcore in it. Water's a lot better when it's either ice or snow. Wouldn't you agree, Star? No chance of fish. Yes, exactly. I actually quite love ice aesthetics, too. I mean, you know, that was a huge motif in my old design, actually. This is very much, like, the entire aesthetic of this snow leopard is very, very much in line with things I already love. Oh boy, she's gonna love it when we get to the Lithanian arc. I'm very curious about that. I know it's like, can't know about anything now, but I'm extremely curious as to... Well... Oh, okay. Speak of the devil. Alright then. Ask and they shall appear. Getting stream sniped by the playlist. That's wild. Hello, Lillian. Starlight's love of the cold is how we ended up living on top of a mountain. I mean... I didn't really have too much choice, okay? Let's return to 12-tone technology? What? Might need a translator for this one. It's oh! Well, it's, it's already translating. Let's return to 12-tone technology. I don't know what that means. 12-tone technique. Someone remind me that I really have to look up how to change the YouTube thing. All I have to say is that Zwillingssturm Imherp's battle theme is going to be stuck in your head if you like orchestral stuff. Fantastic. I mean, I did play a little bit of the event. You know, enough for Lessing. But I'm guessing you mean the boss? Because I think at the time I only got to stage 4? I think I was only at stage 4 at that time. Stage 5, 6 music. Oh, I was off by 1! Amazing. I'm extremely curious to learn I'm very, very curious to learn how Lithanian culture works in the future. Like, I'm dying to know. Obviously, I don't literally need to know right now, but I'm very curious to know how music is handled. For some reason, Meteor E1 is very uncanny to me. Why do you say Meteor E1? I don't think she's that bad. I actually think she's quite nice. Uncanny, though. Is it because of the open mouth? Because I feel like open mouth in a PNG could be uncanny. Hello, Trion! Welcome in, welcome in. Alright, I'm spending a little too much time on these braids right now, because braids are just tricky. I'll probably end them here, I think. I'll give a little note to myself where they want those to end. Everything's really scrunched on a chibi, so I usually have to try to figure out, like, what makes the most sense with the space we have. And it's not easy. It's very tricky sometimes. Especially with this ending part here. Alright, we'll just leave it like this. I feel like it's not entirely even yet. See if I can squish it around, maybe? It's always tricky. I need to draw the rest of the hair, otherwise she looks like... doesn't feel quite right. I need her hair, and I need her ears. At least I just need to rough it in. She looks very naked without her ears. Second longest event in the game, by the way. Only one longer is chapter 14. Wait, Zwillingssturm? With only braids, she looks like Beagle. Yeah, fair. We're in for a yap fest. Oh dear. I see you're drawing art for the Snow Leopard Lady today. I am, Trion! The reason that we're doing art for the Snow Leopard Lady is because tomorrow I get to start the story that we get to learn more about the Snow Leopard Lady. I'm very excited. I don't know anything about her, like, in actuality, so I want to learn more about her. I love her design. Zwillingssturm is long. 1 to 2 stages per stream. Oh boy. All of it is peak. Alright, fair enough. It's about 3 operator records longer than Near Light. Okay. Okay, alright. Knowing that ahead of time makes it feel achievable. Because Nearlight was long. Very long. But if I hear it's like, okay, 3 operator records longer than Nearlight, okay, I can handle that. I can do that. Using operator records as a measuring unit now. Same, she is one of my favorite designs in the game. Heck yeah, I love her. I really want to learn more about her. Trion, the only thing I know about her right now is that she loves naps and sweets. And she's precious. I'm sure she's much deeper than that, but that is my current knowledge, and that alone makes me happy. I mean, lawn operator records? I could also say it's about half a vignette longer. Okay, fair enough. Still, it's kind of good to be, like, it's good to have that as a unit of measurement. Because if you had said, for instance, it's about 2 near lights, then I think I would have freaked out a little bit more. You know? Well, that'll be interesting. We already have, the fitting welfare for the event that I use regularly, so... Is her name pronounced Praminix or Praminix or Praminus? I've been saying Praminix, but I could be very wrong. And if I am wrong, I might have to relearn it. I'm hoping I'm not wrong, because that would be very annoying. Calendar Prama for short. The X is not silent. Okay. So, we've been saying it fine? I mean, a lot of times I just say Pram, but... Chapter 14 is about Maria Neural longer than Nearlight. Okay. Alright. Dark ALMX Americans and their measuring systems. Bloodsuli, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Shogeki, is that the obese guy? What do you mean? What do you mean? Nothing will come close to tea applesauce. Alright, still putting too much work in the hair. The one thing that I still haven't learned how to figure out with streaming is that I'll start, like, going on autopilot with drawing, and I'm not actually being productive. It just looks like there's marks being made on the paper. But it's not actually, like, working correctly. That's something I have to be careful with, I think. Alright, this needs to be a little more turned in. Wait. There we go. That's better. I'm just seeing how it looks from both sides. I'm not really gonna know yet. And I still have to add her giant tail. The going around in circles making noises effect. The pronunciation for Keurig names will be a fun thing to figure out. You're scaring me. For some reason I was hoping that they were, like, kind of standard to what I might know better. I don't know why I thought that. It actually doesn't make any sense that they would. But I guess that was just my, hope and, fear. Alright, make these a little more pointed so she doesn't look like Pippi Longstocking. Do I know Tibetan? Oh dear. This will be interesting, huh? Oh well. Alright, hang on a sec. What is her actual outfit doing with the sleeves? She has short sleeves and then the cape over it. Okay. It's so simplified in the chibi that I can't actually tell what it is. Okay, it's sleeves that are going over. No, that's okay. Just keep remembering that E2 is a little bit different, I think. What's your outfit doing? I can't figure it out. Alright, let's just do the cape. So I at least know the cape. I just realized that this theme sounds like Free Run. Does it not sound just like Free Run? Alright, I think that's fine for the cape. It's just a very weird mix of various languages, and some stuff is just made up, I think. Oh boy! It has the vibe, but I fail to remember a single song from Free Run. Just like that opening riff that you get all the time. The, that opening riff I feel like is very similar. Is it this? Like earlier, I think it was a little more accurate. The core melody, yeah. Oh, thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you, thank you. Hello, have fun? Thank you, I appreciate it. Alright, let's see. Let me see here. Hasn't Pram always been... No, I don't think so. She doesn't look big to me. She looks pretty dang fit. I'm not really sure what you're referring to. I think her ears are a little crooked. Depending on, like, where her eyes are, right? Yeah, that's a little bit better, I think. The rice fields call us. Still trying to figure- I don't think- am I gonna be able to fit her watch? I don't think so, but I can maybe try. Maybe try to get her watch in there. Does the chibi bother with it? The chibi does not bother with it, but that's even more chibi than this, so. It is a watch, isn't it? Can't really tell. It looks like a watch. And then there's... I can't figure out how her other clothing article works. Her tail's in the way. I can't make out what it's doing. Okay, it's some kind of bracelet. Can't really tell from this angle. It might be a watch. And then she has 2 layers of... I guess it's just another layer. It's really hard to fit. I guess it'll be like... How can we do this? Maybe... going over here? Like this? This is really difficult to sort of understand what's happening under the hood, you know? I'm trying not to make tangents, trying to show that that's 2 layers. You'd simplify it to a simple band, especially if you can identify it. I mean, I can at least see there's a square here. Are you gonna give the chibi a bell hat? What do you mean a bell hat? Now that you mention it, though, I didn't really give her a place to hold a bell. I guess I'll do the same thing I did with, I think, what was it? I'll do the same thing that I did with Neural Alt, where I drew her hand upward, specifically, unlike everyone else, and then I'll allow her to have a bell here. How about that? Does that work? She can't really grip anything. With Neural it worked because she had like the floating sword symbol of light. Not really sure how to do it for this. Maybe I'll have it next to her? Maybe she'll be holding it in this hand? It wouldn't really be seen. I'm trying to think of how it works. In the E2, it floats. I don't know how to handle it. I mean, there's other times where she's not holding it. I don't know if she needs to hold it for this. I don't know if it's gonna fit. The chat changed my emoticon to an emoji. I'm betrayed by my own creation. Making everything feel even enough is probably the hardest part of doing these. Alright. You gonna lurk and listen? Alright, sounds good. I'm trying to figure out how to make this work correctly. I don't think we're going to use the bell at the moment. I'm still trying to figure out the basics. I still have to add, like, her big belt area here. Okay, now she looks chubby because of the chibi proportion, but that's not her fault. I just realized her alt keeps this same mess of multiple belts. Things are not going to be able to be fully accurate, I don't think. But still try it. We got her little piece here. Trying to see how much I can simplify. I'm still like, I don't entirely simplify everything. I still like can't really do that mentally, but enough. Lots of belts for no reason at all. I mean, she fits perfectly in Kingdom Hearts, right? Final Fantasy. We'll do it like this, maybe a little bit more room. There we go. Does she seem a little jingle with those bells? Hello, newbie. She definitely isn't chubby, but the outfit and hair looks like it weighs a ton. True, yeah. The hair probably does weigh a ton. Holding up your tail is probably really exhausting, too. Her tail is definitely, feels like much more intense than mine. The outfit itself doesn't look that heavy, honestly. My current estimation is the story will take 3 to 4 streams to read. There's cumulatively 8 hours of reading at your usual speed, then factor in clearing stages and talking in between stages. Alright, that's fair, I think. I'm fine with that, you know? I don't necessarily need to finish it in 1 week after putting in the work on making the plushie, right? I'll let the plushie be able to have a bit of time to give some, credence to. I don't know what I'm trying to say. That is a-okay with me. I've been curious about this area, so it takes a bit longer, fine by me. Been curious about this since, like, the start. Whether or not the reading's difficult, I guess I'll have to just... I don't know if I'm gonna have any accents for tomorrow at all, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold on to anything. I just have to go normally for it. Give you the time breakdowns per segment in DMs? Okay. Getting the sense the belt should rest lower. Yeah, I just lowered them. Her tail's a lot more intense than mine. Pram. I don't mean it badly, I'm just saying, like... My tail is very... wispy, I guess is the way you could say it. I don't think accents would even fit. As I said, language in Keurig is a mess. You know what? That's fine. I'm fine taking a break from trying to learn constant new accents and stuff. It's hard to hold Iberian for that long. So, if we get a break from that, I don't mind one bit. None of the operators have accents for EN. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about Pram's lines, and I'm like, huh, she doesn't really have any, like, super intense accent, so hopefully we're okay. Graham must have one of the more laborious hair and fur care routines in Rhodes Island. I would imagine, yeah. Alright, I think that's a little bit better. Having it a bit lower there, and then... there's so much going on in this top half that it makes it so difficult to make a chibi of. Especially because I can't really move the scarf any higher. I guess I can move it a tiny bit higher. Not much, though. I don't have that much leeway. I don't want it covering your face. What do they do? Proportions are different, so I can't even tell. Oh, in the little chibis, they don't even draw her belts. Oh well. It's prominent enough to me that it feels like it should be there, so... we'll just do it like this. And we'll get rid of one so that it has enough of a spacing, I think. Okay, where is her? Maybe I'll make this go over just a little bit more for shape language. Slight. Tiny amount, but just a little bit more. And then this is gonna be up here. Oh, that's the part that I forgot. Was that little break in color. Okay. That fits, I think. And then... her boots. The one thing I hate about doing the chibis is the boots, because the boots don't fit anywhere, ever, for any character. Alright. She does have heels. So we'll do these. This is kind of the shorthand I've done for heels, is that little drawing, that little, half circle. And then... we might just cover it, because that is a good, easy way to be lazy. Might just do it like this. And then I don't have to worry about what it looks like. Makes it a lot easier. We have this splits here. I don't think I can really draw the underside of it. Happy feet. As long as it's, like, flowy. As long as it's flowy, it'll feel good. And I can cross over a little bit, too. Especially in the middle area. A little bit of fabric fold there. We got these three. And then, oh, we can... where's the cape? The cape needs to show up a little bit more here. So we'll do, like, something like this. And I'll just tuck it in the back so it's not constantly in the way. We'll tuck this here, like so. I think that'll work. That won't be a tangent because we'll erase that. That should be fine. And then I just have to make sure that there's enough room for the, tassels. Tassels and patterns. And I'm still trying to mainly keep it within the same shape and size. This is fine. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the ladder here. I guess I'll just have it defying gravity a little bit. What would work? I guess that works. Oh shoot. That would show the end piece, so maybe we'll do it like this. Tricky. Tricky, tricky. Alright. Let me zoom out a little bit, so I can kind of see what I'm working with. I still have to add her floof tail. I think I'll add the floof tail on the other side, because there's so much being pulled over here. I think I might have her tail, like, here? I don't know. Plus, it's away from me when she's sitting, so it would kind of be easier to see from a distance, I think. Is her tail... Alright, if her tail is actually behind the cape, then I might just be able to do it here. That might work. Maybe like this? With the knurls, I had it going the other way. I had it, like, doing that. It doesn't feel right, does it? Alright, I'll try doing it the other way. This doesn't feel quite right, does it? Let me think for a minute. Send that over. Includes the before and after separately. You're aware of what you're getting into before you start a stage. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Fitz, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is so cute. Will you use it for anything? Yes. Whenever I do events, I usually have it next to me on stream. I usually have like a little plush on stream. So the plan is to have little Pram plush when I start Break the Ice tomorrow. I'm excited. I know nothing about Kirag, but I love Pram and I've been really, really wanting to learn more about her. So I'm still very excited here. Alright, let me do this on another layer. Let me see if I can try to have her holding the tail. Because that would be fitting, right? If I can get it looking right. If I can have her holding her tail. That might work. Potentially. I don't know. Let me see here. She does hold her tails in the chibi anyway. Maybe that works then. Maybe I'll just tilt it a little bit. Maybe I'll cover all of this up with her holding her tail. What do we think? Newbie, because of you, I can't unsee it as a brush buddy now. Alright, maybe we'll try that. I have a question, but unrelated to the topic. Maybe I shouldn't ask it. No, you're fine. Go right ahead. I think that'll work, and then if it gets, like, a little bit cut off here, then it's still fine. You can still tell what it is. Tail needs to be bigger, fluffier. It's still a chibi. I don't really have the luxury to make it bigger than this. And it's still larger than I'm used to. Alright, I mean... if it goes the other way, you can make it large. Like, okay, you know what? Hang on. Where's Knurl? How large did I make Neural's tail? Where's your color? There we go. Alright. Let me grab these real quick and put them in another folder. And what did Neural look like? So Neural's tail's like here. That's about... I sometimes turn on different plush that I've made in the past to try to see, like, where we're at in accuracy with them. Okay, so I can go a little bit further out here. And for the floof, I'm kind of more or less at the limit of where I set it before. Which is your what's your progress with the platinum short? So the platinum short, funny you should ask, I actually was working on it a little bit yesterday, was trying to get back into it. I kind of got, like, very thrown off in terms of doing it on stream. So I'm like, I'm gonna try to just, I'm gonna try to work on it a little bit off stream and kind of get into the groove of it, and I think that that'll be good. So it's about... The drawings, I would say most of them are done. I think I just have 1 or 2 left. And the irony is, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were saying, you know, you could do shorts that are, like, just the photo of, like you could just do, instead of trying to make an animatic based on an idea, you could also just... make a flat comic, like a bakadoodle, and then voice over it. And I was like, but that would be really short, and people would not want to see it because it's so short. But then I was like, oh wait, but I could be more consistent with that. That's kind of where we're at. Like, it's coming along. We're making progress on it. I will get it done. I just had a little bit of a setback on it, but we're getting back into it. And then, I might try doing a few that are more, like, voiced-over comics. You guys have seen those, right? You see, like, a little 20-second short, and it'll just be, like, a one-page thing, but it's just a voiced-over version of it. If people didn't like short videos, we wouldn't have a whole section called shorts. I mean, fair enough. I don't understand the one-page comic thing, because it's like, it only lasts, like, a few seconds. And I'm used to doing shorts that are at least a minute, because that's the time length that you have for them. So I always think in my head that that's what it has to be. That's what they're meant to be. But I would be able to get them out much sooner. I wouldn't have to worry about, like, a whole animatic storyline. I could just have, like, one thing and get it out regularly. Where's this in relation? Okay. Not much room, huh? Not much room at all. Cool. Not much room to work with. Try it like this. There we go. Worth giving a shot compared to previous shorts? Yeah, there you go. My Pram drawing is going good? Yours is too? Heck yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Very glad to hear it. Alright, I think we're okay with this size for Pram. I'm just trying to think of what else here. Oh, the other thing is I was trying to, like, make it kind of a flat ground because of, Oh, actually, I should still do that. so that it kind of sits on the stream correctly. Trying to make this like all in one line. This kind of goes over a little bit, so maybe I'll shorten a few things. Kind of tricky to make it like... I'm trying to make it relatively flat to stream. Let's see here. Because it's sitting, right? Kind of the main thing is that it's sitting. Alright. Because it'll get cut off about, like, here-ish. Or maybe a little bit more. Like here. Eh. She's patting the brush buddy into shape. Amazing. It really does feel like a brush buddy now. Newbie's ruined me. Okay, and then let's use the other side to do a little bit more of the capelet, right? So we'll have this part here, and you know what? I might just have it flare out, just to make my life a little bit easier. Let's try something like that. Save that. Nothony, hello, hello. Barely find AK content? Well, then I am glad that you have found this place, because I am a new doctor, and I am doing everything as a new player, going through all the different stories and making lots of fan art. So hello, welcome in. I'm going through everything as naturally as I can, and we're gonna be going through Break the Ice tomorrow. Okay. What am I'm trying to figure out how to do this fold, and it's throwing me off. Oh my gosh. I might just do it this way. Maybe that'll make my life easier. Alright, we'll do that. There we go! That's the shape I want. It's very hard sometimes to get the right shape that you're after, you know? With very few exceptions, the entire experience is on YouTube as VODs. True, yes! I need to update that. Yeah, if you go to my YouTube channel, most of the viewers right now are on the YouTube side. I do have the whole beginner walk experience as VODs, and now we're doing side story before heading into Act 2. Which means all her screams of terror and despair are 100% natural. Okay, when they say terror and despair, I just finished Stultifera Novice, so give me a break. I'm still trying to figure out what these different coats are doing. There's just different layers that I just have to sort of make up and pretend that they kind of fit together. Feels a little too large. I think we've almost got the general shape. We're just tweaking a little bit as we go. Just trying to make it look more visually appealing. And then we'll do a little bit of this. I'm still, like, not entirely sure how to handle this piece. I kind of just want to flip it upward and call it a day, because this sort of feels like an awkward shape. This fold-over thing is a little bit weird. So maybe I'll just do it this way. Because these are tassels anyway. They're not going to be super clean. I'll just do it like that. That might be good. These are tassels too. Tassels here, tassels here. Oh. No, it's okay. We'll have it going over. We'll have it going over. This will go over too. That'll show enough of it, right? That should show enough. So many tassels everywhere. Okay. That is feeling a little bit better. Can do a few little scratchy things here where the tie is. Even though it's on the wrong layer. Because everything's always on the wrong layer. Alright. There we go. I don't care if that's stupid for a chibi, I'm just adding it real quick. Gives context to things. The boot is probably fine, we hid most of it anyway. I think it's good. We'll make sure to add the little symbol here. Little line here. I do like going a little bit overboard when it comes to chibi designs, but I still think that this is a good balance of complex and simple enough, visually appealing enough. Of course, there's tassels everywhere. The Stargazers swarm here. I mean, live here. True. It's just a mess of tassels, constantly, everywhere. Alright. We'll add a little bit more hair on this side. Trying to balance her hair is another tricky thing, I think. I'll make the capelet just a tiny bit, or the cape a little bit larger, just so it's a little easier to see. Just so it stands out a little. I'm kind of lost as to what it happened over here. Alright. And then, how's the balance looking? I'll push it a little bit more, or pull it, I should say. Pull it a little bit more here. And no, I have not forgotten her circlet. Don't worry. Alright. Here. Here. I think the braids just feel very awkward sometimes. With how they're kind of like, like on the run. Like, they kind of need to be pushed inward, I guess. We're just about done with this setup. But I always feel like... I've drawn her a few times now, and I always feel like the way that the braids are set up is never quite done right. Alright, maybe if the... This is all in the same layer, isn't it? Haha! That was stupid of me. I think if they aren't as inward, then it'll probably be easier. Because right now they kind of feel like they're clinging to her face, and that's not how braids work. It's probably a little bit better. The angles of braids is tricky, I think. Also, this might need to go further out. Just a little bit. Yep. Just a little bit. And then... It's okay. Let me try to... enlarge it a little on this side and squish it down a little on this side. It might look a little bit better that way. Kinda doesn't really make a difference, does it? I don't want to immediately say maybe it'll look better when it's colored, because then if it doesn't, we still have to keep adjusting it, then it's like, oh, well, that'll make it a lot harder now. Okay, I'll tilt it inward a little. That probably helps. Why does it just not feel right to me yet? Make this a little shorter. That makes it a little bit better somehow. To be fair, that E1 artist from almost 6 years ago, they did their best. I think the E1 art looks fine. I think that my interpretation of it could use some work. Especially to a chibi. I think the E1 is completely fine. I have no problem with the E1. I think it looks great. I wish I had that level. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I need to make sure that she has room for her circlet, though. I'll probably tilt that a little, too. Let me make this a little bit lower. It's pretty low. Wait, are these even? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Keep that even. I flipped the E1 art and she looks so smushed now. Wait, really? Hang on. You flip it? I don't think she looks smushed. I think it works both ways. Right? It looks okay to me, I think. Grim looks like she's tired, but has to smile because her brother did something very stupid. Ah yes, I'm finally gonna learn more about her brother, too. That'll be interesting. I'm gonna kill YouTube. It keeps autocorrecting my name! It keeps autocorrecting my name to Stubborn. Why? Yeah, I get it. Why does it do that? It autocorrects my name to Stubborn. It's just all I'm seeing on screen is the word stubborn, by the way. Here, I'll prove it to you. I hate this, and I hate YouTube. See? Look at that! It's autocorrecting from German? Oh gosh. Anyway. Okay. I think it'll also look a lot better when she has her little shading on that looks like a nose. I think we're okay to move forward on this. Except now it's really messy and I'm having a hard time, figuring out, like, how it's supposed to lay out correctly. See if that works. Kind of. Ish. Sort of. Ah! Alright, fine. Try to keep it a little simpler then, like... Little tips of hair can be so frustratingly difficult sometimes. Alright. Try to make that a little... further inward, further outward. Alright, let's add the little piece here. Also, do you notice that her circlet is 7 crystals? Because I find that quite amusing. We'll sketch that in real quick. I say real quick, but it's been like half the stream because, you know, layout takes a long time. Layout is hard to figure out. A little higher, so we can get the bottom piece here too. Ah, I'm gonna have to fix that. I don't like that tangent. You mean the beads? I count more? On the circlet? Well, I'm not counting the ones on the bottom, I'm counting the crystal ones. I'm not counting the beads on the bottom of it. I'm counting each segment entirely. Like there's 7 sets of crystal bead combination. Yeah, the circlet. Yukiya, hello! Welcome in. How are you doing today? It is good to see you. Hello. How have you been? Yukiya, you would like this character that we are currently drawing. She is a snow saintess. And I get to learn more about her tomorrow. I'm excited. Been okay? I've been okay on my end too. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I need to move the hair down a little bit. How goes the arting on your end, Yukiya? Let's make it like, make it a little lower. I think that would be good. And then we'll simplify it a tiny bit here too. Yeah. That actually helps a lot more with her characterization. I think her hair should be lower. Or fuller, I guess the word would be. None at the moment? Well, certainly since I've heard from you last, I'm sure. Yeah? Some issue with shoulder neck. Oh, okay. Okay, fair. Well, I do hope that you are able to feel better. That does not sound fun. I hope that you can recover quickly from that. But other than that, what have you been up to? So you stream a lot of Arknights lately? I have been going through a what would we even call it? A journey? I'm not even sure how to describe it. Over a year now, yeah. Over a year of this journey. I don't even know what I would call it though. It has been fun, though. I'm glad it's been fun. I'm glad it's been fun. Yes. A year of this wild adventure that has pretty much changed my life. Really don't know how I would describe it. That's why I end up putting it into, like, animatic format, because I can't, like, articulate my feelings. I just have to draw my feelings. A bizarre adventure. There you go. Stirs terrific journey. Fantastic. Newbie would be proud. I still remember the first stream of yours I caught. It was the exploding spider stage. Ah yes, I think I'll stick around for the screaming fox. What a way to find me. Basically, yes. I'm trying to figure out if I even want it. I have to stay consistent with these previous plush, so I have to keep doing the little stitching thing, but I don't know how much to do it. Yeah, something like that, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of distracting. I kind of, like, don't want to do it, but I kind of have to. Keep it consistent looking. Naraya, thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you, thank you. I hope you are having a good day today. Thank you. I'm sorry that Prism is in the way. I really need to figure out what to do about those alerts. But hello, thank you. I'm glad that you are enjoying the stream if you are here. Or if you found me through a short, I hope you're having a good day. You may or may not hear me. Regardless, wishing you the best. Thank you. Found you before or during near light event? Ah. Like the alerts drop in your head so you don't miss them. It's not that I miss them, it's that Prism's in the way. Hang on a sec. Let me just try doing it. Let me just see if I can make it, like, somewhat appealing. I think it's the crossover I don't like. I don't think I should do that many. I think I'll just do the... I think I'll just do the 2 here. Or the 3, or whatever this is. Oh, you know what? That's what I'll do. I'll just do this part. And then... that probably looks fine. Save that. I'm thankful that Arknights has both good story and gameplay. Yeah, I was not sure how I was gonna handle the gameplay portion, because I started being like, oh, I love the art. And then I remember people are like, oh, you're gonna play it. And I'm like, no, I don't really do that kind of thing. And then I remember the first stream and I was trying to understand how it works, and I'm like, oh, this is way above my understanding. This is way above my level. I am not gonna have a fun time. And I remember, oh my gosh, I remember, Vesa and a VTuber mentor that we, the server that we used to mod, or still mod, what am I saying? The server that we moderate, I was talking to the mentor and Vessa. I was like, yeah, I don't know about this. And they're like, continue it. At least try it for a little bit. I was like, I don't know. I think this is really out of my league, really out of my level. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this very well. But they convinced me to stay, so here we are. A year later. Alright, I think this is better. I'm feeling a little bit better about this. Oh, I think that's what I want to do, too. I think I want to give a little bit more curvature here. And then I think we'll be good. Very slight, just so there's a little bit of, like, an S-curve happening. So it's not so flat. A little bit of an S-curve. We should be good. Trying to do it in a way that looks appealing. Easier said than done. And try and grab this piece. And give it a little bit more openness, and then we'll just grab this and pull it out. A little bit. Little bit at a time here. Try that, and then maybe we'll push it in a little bit more at a different angle. There we go. Tiny bit more movement, little less flat. I know it seems like a tiny detail, but... And then we'll just move this, just so we can see it easier. Alright. We'll save that. I really don't want to do the line art on stream. You guys know how I feel about doing the line art on stream. You got better over the journey, mostly due to huge roadblocks like Morpheus. Morpheus was insane because the fact that it was limited, it's like, oh, you don't have time to practice and, like, learn this intensely. You don't have time to... That was... Ugh. That's the downside with collab stuff, right? Is, like, go on a training arc. You don't have time to waste. Nothing ventured, nothing what? After that, the hive mind took notice of the fox, and now we're all feral bunnies that eat space and time. Hey, wait a minute. You didn't end up doing the EX stages for Morpheus refight, right? I did, actually. I did. I did actually end up doing the EX for that. I had to borrow, fully leveled Exuciate to do it, but I still did it. Yeah, we'll work with that, I think. Did you see my question from a while back? Hang on a sec. Did you manage to do CMs for them too? I think so. I don't remember. The challenge mode of the EX. Gosh, I took a screenshot. I just can't remember. Very salty over the Ave Mujika event. You can probably find it in the server. I probably sent it at some point. I don't remember if it was CM, though. It might have just been EX. Was there CM? I think there was, right? Probably. I don't think I left anything, but I don't remember entirely. Hang on a sec. Question. Hang on. Art question. I'm gonna prepare a mood board for commissioning an OC in the near future. Are there things that people tend to forgetty with those, but are very important to the mood board? Ooh, that's a really good question. I'm trying to think. Okay, mood boards. Important things on the mood board. Important things that people tend to forgetty with those are very important to the mood board. This is... Okay, I guess, if this is something where you need a design still made, one thing that people always forget is personality. I think that is a major, major thing that people always forget when they're doing mood boards, and you see it all the time when you are looking at reference sheets for... I think Fate Grand Order does this on their reference sheets and their art books. They show, like, expressions of the character, and you kind of get a sense of, like, who the character is. Like, you have the one PNG of Pram here, right? But you can kind of get that she's, like, calm, serious, and then the chibi could have, like, an entire different feeling. So I think that personality is a really big one that people leave out, which also informs a lot of things like what kind of clothes the character would wear. Even if you have a mood board, you also sort of want to know, like, the direction. So I'll give an example for myself, right? So you guys have seen, like, my first form with the coat, with the actual winter theme, ironically. And then you've seen my current dress, where I have, like, the shorter dress and then the overskirt. If I had just shown, like, the references of, like, a mood board for that, then I might have gotten back a design that specified, for instance, the short dress, right? I might have gotten something with the short dress, and it might be like, I don't know, very puffy magical girl type of thing. That wouldn't work for me because I tend to be more, like, conservative in clothing. So that's sort of like a little bit of a personality thing, a little bit of like if I just showed off colors, because obviously color is a huge part of my identity too, right? The crystalline rainbow type of look. If I just showed off colors, if I just showed off vibes and feelings, then it would have just been like, not accurate to the personality and direction of... It goes beyond the aesthetic. It's a little bit more specific, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm entirely explaining it right, but, like, the way that you design a character for, let's say... I'm trying to think of two characters who are kind of similar but opposite in personality. The character design for Cruz is going to be a lot different than the character design for, let's say, Popcar. Popcar is a little bit more nervous, a little bit more scared, and it shows in her clothing, where she has the overcoat, the heavier layers and everything, the hoodie, the hat hiding her ears and everything. Whereas Cruz's pose and demeanor, and I know she's wearing a uniform, but they still show a lot of who she is by showcasing her personality in her face, her posture, everything like that. So I think that when people think of mood boards, that is a big, big thing that they always forget, is don't just give me a biography, because I always see people being like, you know, here's this character, they survived this war, they went to this school, they are currently trying to fight this foe, and it's like, okay, but I don't know who this character is. Like, what is this character interested in? What type of book would this character read? That kind of thing, right? So make sure to include personality. That will inform a lot of the direction that an artist sort of shifts what they're doing when thinking about what the character might look like. Does that answer your question? I hope that helps a little bit. My next question's off stream, but very helpful. Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that I would say, in terms of, like, character design in general, think of what the character's theme is. Think of, like, items that they would be associated with, and think of, like, when people see the character, what do you want them to think of? Like, concepts-wise, right? What makes them visually iconic? What makes them stand out from other characters? Like, you know, quick exercise. If I said, like, if you were to describe my design in, let's say, or not design. If you were to, it's kind of easy because I've already told you guys a million times. But if you look at my design, you think of, like, you know, crystals, rainbows, stardust, all that type of stuff. I want you to sort of think of those themes when you see the design. What do you think of when you see the design of... I'm trying to pick someone. I'm trying to pick someone that I'm not pulling up an image of right now. What are the themes that you think of when you imagine the design of Lessing, let's say? Now I'm gonna give you a weird one. What do you think of when you see Lessing's design? Sword purple? Moody? Anger? You can kind of break it down, right? Definitely edgy, no humor. Alright. What do you think of when if you had to associate Gavial with a theme, what do you associate Gavial with? Like, let's go completely different direction. Tomimi. Confident, okay. That's personality. What about theming? What's her theme? And yes, you can use an animal in this case. Croc Rockstar. Yeah, I'm going in two different directions. So one is personality, and the other is theming. So theming being like motifs, symbols. So we have Croc, right? Fighting healer, okay. Healer is more of a class, though. You know, we could say that Susuro and Gavial are in the same class for healer. So when you think of, like, her themes... I'm thinking of, like, I would definitely say Croc. I would definitely say... like her, like maybe the axe, Gavial specifically retired from fighting to learn how to heal. More so her character, it's more of like, I'm trying to figure out how to, okay. Do you guys know VTubers enough? Do you guys know some, most of you guys know some basic VTubers, right? Okay. Do you guys know Gargura? Shork. Okay. You guys know Gargura. That's all we need right now. So, what are Gargura's themes? I'll pull up a picture for that. Okay. Alright, Gargura. What are her themes? Shark, blue, ah. Remember her having trident? Okay. So we've got, like, we definitely have the shark element. We have, this is more personality-based, but playful. Thematically, we can see, like, someone said the trident. The way that she dresses, right? Very, very, like, cutesy. Very, very kawaii. Medium-sized tail. So, very, like, very cutesy, very chibi. Shark theme. Playful. Shrimp. But you can, like, there's different, like, if you see the character, you can kind of just figure out, like, random keywords, right? Random themes, random ideas like that. Brat. Oh. But you kind of get what I'm saying, right? Theming is gonna be things like the shark motif, blue, vibrancy. So if you said blue, then you could just think of, like, you know, desaturated slate blue. But we have, like, blue, vibrant, shark. I don't want to say playful in terms of personality. I'm trying to say playful in, like, the clothing type. The clothing type is very childlike, right? With, like, the little hoodie with the shark shape. It's a very cutesy, type of clothing. It's a very playful type of clothing. So I'd say maybe, like, innocent, shark, let me think of what else. Alright, how about... We'll do this one next. I'm just using VTubers because it's easier for me to do it quick. So if you don't know anything about her, right? You don't have to know anything about the character. Vampire? Okay. So we can see, like, elegance, right? Gothic. We have, like, a pink and black theming, right? Pink and black motifs. Regal. So, yeah, we got the colors, we got, like, pink and black, we got sort of the sense of regal, authority. Death. But even if you didn't know who she was, even if you were just going off a design, right? That's one of the reasons that I'm picking VTubers, is because some of you guys know who these are, and some of you don't. So it's interesting to see what you guys say based on looking at the design. Decay, due to the tattered cloak, really good observation. Really, really good observation. The scythe isn't showing, it's hard to tell. I did that intentionally. The tatters look like bat wings? That's an interesting idea. So the actual concept of the character here, I'll make it more obvious now. I intentionally did not show this. And now I'm gonna add to it. Once you can see their weapon, it kind of changes your perception of who they are. Now you have more theming. Her clothing reminds me of a widow on a funeral. Very interesting observation. Elegant, horror, gothic. Okay, do you want to know her lore in, like, 2 words? Grim Reaper. You see the microphone immediately? She's a newbie's boss! Amazing. Grim Reaper that performs at concerts? Grim Reaper who rejected the Grim Reaping part. She still has her weapon, but, you know, the deeper lore is that she kind of rejects her role now. But the main thing, you guys said, like, you know, decay, widow-looking, you know, black, gothic, intense. You could pick up her main idea, her main theme, so then when I said Grim Reaper, you're like, oh, okay. I would not have imagined that to be a pink-haired idol girl, but it works. I know she's supposed to be a death god. At first glance, I would say vampire. You were not the only one to say vampire. I think it's because in our heads, we associate vampires with being very conventionally attractive. Sort of like to lure in people. The show is to die for. So you guys kind of get what I'm saying, right? Like, your theming of a character is very, very important. For me, it's... My themes are more ephemeral, right? Rainbows, auroras, stars. Stars and crystals are more solid theming. Rainbows and auroras are really, really loose as themes. And then you Warhammer vampires. So you kind of get what I'm saying, right? Now let's go with, like... Alright, let me think. Trying to think who's good for this. Alright. Alright. I think I was actually talking, using this exact example yesterday, because someone else was saying, how do I make an OC that feels like an Arknights character? So what are the themes here? If you didn't know her storyline, if you did not know anything, if you had not read Maria Neural, Blonde Knight. Very, very clear, right? Is there anything that stands out that, like, picks apart a design detail? Moon iconography is easy, but it feels like a cheat. Moon as a theme, specifically moon as a theme, not moon as opposition to sun theme. Is it more solid or more abstract? Moon is a little bit more solid, I think. Moon iconography is easy, but feels like a cheat. Yeah, I mean, if you want to be more subtle, I'm gonna have to think and sit, what I'd pair a set of horns with, and a accretion disc between them with. I have an overall idea, but not easy to flesh it out further. I don't know what an accretion disc is. I'm gonna have to learn what that is. Rich Hermlin coat shows nobility and royalness. There we go. There's definitely a piece of it. Intricate armor. Yep. So we've got, like, the intricacy, the detail, the attention to detail, We've got the coat that's gonna show, like, more of a, wealth status. Accretion disk is a disk of matter surrounding a black hole. Okay, then. Cute, night, soft, joyful, rightful, and rich. There you go. But, like, just visually, right? So, personality, we can see joyful, right? Definitely has, like, a sense of righteousness. And then thematically, we get sort of a feeling of, royalty or wealth. And then clearly we have the color scheme of silver and gold, but, you know, blonde. And then, you know, if we didn't know what she was, if we didn't know her species, we could also see that there's, like, the motifs of the wings everywhere. A knight, but still a cute girl with a bow in her hair. Yeah, so maybe, like, feminine. Feminine, you could also say, too. So you guys kind of get what I'm getting at here, right? So the main thing when it comes to characters is, like, you're picking out easy, simple words that you can use to explain when you think of a character. So if I say blue, shark, playful, then you could think of Gargura, the first one we looked at. Or if I say pink, death, gothic, if I say pink and gothic, then that could still be a lot of different things, but if I say pink, death, gothic, more Calliope. So the main thing is, like, can you describe a character with words and then allow people to sort of think of who that character is in their head? So if I say, I mean, it's kind of hard with sisters, because you might either say Blemmy or Neural, but if I say, you know, Pegasus, blonde, knight, it's still kind of hard to, I guess if I said, yeah, that's kind of hard to separate. It's hard with sisters. But you get what I'm saying. Your mind is still gonna go to the Neural family. Aunt, there you go. If I say, dragon red cooking. Exactly. I think there's a number of elements to her armor that, together with the pose and expression, are meant to give a sporty impression. I can see that. I can definitely see that. You don't even have to say red, to be honest. Well, yeah, fair enough. Dragon and cooking is kind of a unique thing anyway. Just dragon cooking limits it to like 5 characters. But that's what basically what I'm trying to say is that is a symbol of good design. Can you see or learn a design and then be able to replicate it in a few different words? Like, you know, try it against me. Try throwing a few words at me. See if I can describe who you're thinking of. Because they're basically, like, it's kind of like being able to identify Pokemon in the same way, right? Smug blue clock. That could only be Mastema, right? Fluffy buzzing? Buzzing. Oh, wait, are you doing Arknights or anything? Are you doing anything? Or are you like categorizing it here? Crony, okay, fair enough. You said anything? I did say anything. That kind of makes it difficult if we don't at least tie it down between like a VTuber, a Pokemon, and an operator. Gray, blue, yo-yo. Yo-yo? I mean, Crony and Mostamar are basically the same. Change my mind. Fluffy buzzing, obviously Transformers Bumblebee. Gray, blue, yo-yo. Yo-yo? No. Oh my god, Ethan! Anyhow, thank you, Star, for the art advice. Might have to catch some Snork BBB soon. Yeah, no worries, no worries. What? New sound unlocked. Horns, dark pink assassin. Horns, dark pink assassin. That would be, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on names. Is that Asalon? Yeah, I can't do anything that's, like, fully spoiler-based, but I can see enough with the design. I can understand enough with the design. But yeah, basically you guys get what I'm saying. You understand the idea with the themes. I think we're about good here. Whoa, ghost snap. You could do this one in just 2. Cat Rose, there you go, yeah. Hey, Vendella. Big red heart, pig blonde. Big red heart, pig blonde? Pig? Is that meant literally or figuratively? Can you do dragon, furry, leader? Oh, VTuber. VTuber. Big red heart, pig blonde. The pig part's throwing me off. Do I know any pig VTubers? Is Pram's real name a spoiler? Possibly? I don't know. You do dragon, furry, leader. Furry, leader. Dragon, furry, leader. Oh! Way! See, this is why this is why AK is so good. This is why, like, thematically, design-wise, they do such a good job. Is it furry or scaly in his case? I mean, he has fur. Sap Blue still low, and there's a squash prism. Oh, Okay, 2. Blonde, tired. Does that narrow it down enough? Gen 1 Hollow. Oh, Gen 1? Gen 1. Gen 1 English or Gen 1 JP? I can do it in 1. Yep! There we go. There we go. Cal being so iconic that it's just you don't even have to say cat. Hello, Sap Boost. Yeah, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well too. Shield, imposing, unstoppable. Yeah, there we go. That would definitely have to be. Unstoppable, definitely Patriot. Gen 0, English Gen. 1 JP. Beagle. Beagle. Well, the impose. Yeah. No, fair enough. Beagle. Hmm? I'm okay. Hang on, I'm getting like weird. This doesn't work if YouTube keeps translating things badly. Horror wrote I rose and it translated to is it pink? Stubborn is stubborn. I hate this. Crocodile translates to even if you. I hate this. I hate it so much. Alright. I'm gonna quickly map out colors, because I feel like that's a good way that we can kind of continue on here before I, actually go and make the clean line art, so I at least know which way we're going with the color scheme first. Even if it's a little rough and hard to make out, it does help me in terms of figuring out what this is eventually going to look like, right? It would help if I put it on the right layer. It would help if I put it on the right layer. There we go. VTuber was, Akai Hato. Oh, okay. I'm not as familiar with JP, admittedly. It's nice that you get an insight into the life of a hallucinating AI. What a unique experience. Test? Oh. Horror wrote stir test, and it just drops it and just writes test. It just dropped the stir part. The op was Waynar. Oh! Depressed blonde. Fair enough. Oh. So you understand, like, from an art point of view, right? You get the idea behind making recognizable, iconic characters. What about this? Pink, goofy, famous traveler? Is that you official? For mine art, what about a newspaper? Yes, newspaper. Very, very thematically appropriate. Very, very thematically appropriate to add newspaper. Because that's the thing, like, if you can associate an item with the character too, right? It's not a matter of trying to do it in... What's that show? There's a show called Name That Tune, and it's based on, like, how well people know music. And there's people who are like, I can guess that song in 3 notes. Well, I can do it in 2. Now I can guess that song in 1 note. So it's not meant to be like that. It's like, It just... Thank you so much, Artemis, thank you very much for sending the 5 gifted. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, yeet! Thank you so much. Thank you very much for the support. If you got a membership, please make sure to say thank you. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it greatly. Simpler one, rock, hammer, armor. Mud rock. It was meant to be like 20 minutes ago, but Google's stinky. No worries. Unfortunately, only lurkers. Some guy is in here. Some guy is in here, quite a bit, I think. Bunny unhinged pickaxe? Pickaxe. Pickaxe. It's not AK, okay. Not AK. Bunny unhinged pickaxe. Pickaxe. Huh. That's an easy one? Bugs Bunny or something? That's... well, it's not... Quite obvious when you stop to think about the bunnies. I'm trying to think. Who has a pickaxe? I didn't think this would stump you like that. That's such an unusual item. It's probably gonna hit me like a train. Is it G- oh! Oh my god. I wasn't thinking something so indie. I wasn't thinking of something so indie. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Amazing job. My mind was trying to go to, like, way more, like, fully known properties. That was good. That was good. In Italy, there's a TV show where the competitor had to guess a song with some hints. A famous line was, "I will guess it in 1." I wonder if it was basically the same show. Like, just, you know, brought over. Artemis, what are you doing? Artemis, hang on! Goodness! Thank you very much! Thank you very, very much, Artemis. I appreciate your support very much. Thank you. Pinger lurking in case you decide to try IS? Oh? Lurker spotted? Oh? Oh my gosh. Thank you very much. Thank you, Artemis, and thank you for continuing your membership. Pinger's a pretty big YouTuber, mostly does IS stuff. Oh, okay. Well, welcome in. If you prefer lurking, that is fine. If you're not in stream today, that is okay too. I hope you're having a good day. Like I said, questionable, but life is more enjoyable that way. Oh my gosh. Imagine one day a gifted drops and Mori spawns in the chat. Aww. G Dante, hello, hello. Nice jacket. Where did you get it from? I woke up in it. No, I know they might not be lurking. I'm just saying, you know, regardless. Thank you. I thought it would be so cool to have Arknights style clothing brand for real. That would be very cool, yes. Alright, what was I doing? I was coloring at one point. That was the goal. Alright, let's see. We're just doing the rough. Just trying to get the idea down. There's just so much to where I don't think the other hand shows, so that's fine. I'm gonna get a little bit of the blush. It always feels better when you have a tiny bit of the blush here and it's like, oh yes, there is supposed to be a nose. That always just kind of helps fill in the gaps. Makes it a lot more comfortable feeling after that, I think. Very instantaneous. Vivi's clothes would be a nightmare to watch. True. Last time you checked, clothing stores are so uninspired and even ugly. I can agree with that, yeah. And the, you know, the whole, like, fast fashion thing happening does not help either. Alright, let's quickly draft this part in. Oh shoot, does this go over or under? I guess it goes... I guess we... Okay, that's fine. We extended it so it would go under. If I can just get myself to put in the colors, then we'll have a better idea of, like, what we're dealing with. Because I started getting very lost. The implication of a nose. I mean... It works for a plushie, right? I never noticed she has a Rolex. I noticed that- I noticed this, I'm like, should I try to include that? I'll try to fit it in. Let me get, like, the little tips here. So we can see, like, what we're dealing with. It really helps to use color to separate everything out. so that even if the line art is not clean, then we can still get an idea of where we're going. I really hate line art. I really hate doing line art, but with chibis, you kind of have to. At least the way I set this up kind of made it sort of forced into line art. I really don't like line art. I'm gonna give you guys a heads up right now. For anyone who's, like, commissioning me in the future, I am giving you the heads up. I will not be doing clean line art anymore. That doesn't mean the piece will be unclean. That means that I want work to be more painterly. I can't do clean line art anymore. It kills my soul. It doesn't mean I can't do it if you, like, specifically need it for something, specifically request it. But it will kind of change, like, how I go about the piece in general. Because I feel like I can do a lot better when I'm not worried about the clean line art. Make it more like an oil painting type of thing. Like, there's a lot of people who can do very, like, animation production ready looking stuff. And I really want to move my style to, well, basically Arknights, if we're being real. And when I say clean line art, I really genuinely mean it as, like, super polished animation ready stuff, whereas if you look at Pram here, right? Well, it's hard to tell because this is a little bit more low res, but see if I can find a good example here. Like the tail here, like up here. This is not super clean line art. This is not, like, insanely polished, insanely meant to be, like, perfect, right? This is kind of painted over and such. And I just think that it works a lot better for the way that I approach things. $50 extra for Star to do line art. I can do line art. I've done it plenty of times. Oh, I used to do so much line art when I was doing, VTuber assets, because 99% of VTubers are drawn in a very, clean line style with the models, right? So, what that means is that when I wanted to make assets fit VTubers and make it look very natural, I had to match the style of, like, really clean anime production level stuff. And that meant constant clean line art, and I kinda hate it. But my goal is to do things that are more rough, painterly, expressive. So that's where I really want to be putting my time, I think. That doesn't mean that's like, oh, I can never do it again. That just means that is what I'm going to prefer, and that's the kind of work I would rather take. Just add it here. We talked about the critique sandwich, but I'll just say that the head looks amazing and cute. Nothing I can think of to critique and keep the balance. Thank you, Seko, I appreciate it. When I was saying, like, critique sandwich thing, the main thing there was, like, I think the critiques were just, like, too constant, like, too many at once. So if you're ever saying, like, oh, you know, something looks a little bit off, then that's totally fine. I really don't mind that. It's just when it becomes, like, every single element of the whole piece, and that's like, okay, we can hold off a little. Doesn't have to be everything that's wrong. But thank you, I really appreciate it. Alright, I think this is getting better. This is getting really hard because I also can't quite see what's happening underneath. So I kind of have to guess at the moment. Because then after I slap in all this color, then off stream I'll probably be doing the line art. Which is fine, I at least understand how to do clean line art with this style. This isn't as painful. It's really the assets that were painful. Oh, nope, this is the darker one. It's gonna be the... I think she needs a little bit more shadow color in here. She has a little bit of warm tone in the hair as well. It's not like pure white and pure gray. It's got a little bit of warm tone as well. Not too much, but just enough to keep it interesting. Enough to not make it super flat. I kind of feel that. I used to hate writing my calculations for math. I just write the answer I counted in my head. How do you do clean line art so well? It is just a lot of pain. You know what? The thing is with the clean line art is there's a lot of people that can do it with, they swear by doing it with vectors. I have never been able to do vector line art. It throws me off so much. Because, like, it's one thing if it's like, oh, you can make it look like the brush you're using. That's fine. But then if you have to edit it, if you have to clean it up and change it, then it's a nightmare. Because then the way vectors work, for those of you guys who don't know what vectors are, you have to pull points in space, and it's weird, and it's very confusing, and it constantly tries to fight you. Not a fan. Alright, we can get the... I'm gonna do this on a separate layer and link it because the spots are hard to place sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. You have to just move it around a lot. I think that's good. This will look better once it's cleaned up, of course. Let's go back here. Add a little bit of shading here. Welcome back, Halamax. We were talking about theming. Yeah, it's the first one. Can you draw with vectors, or do you actually just put down several points to draw with vectors? You actually can, but it's like... Ugh, I've learned both ways and I hate them both. Let me make a vector layer. I'll show you what it looks like real quick. Let's do a vector layer. If you draw with a regular brush, which you can, it allows you to. This is a lot better than how I've normally done it. And then you want to change it. You want to, like, fix it. Now you have to do with this. And some people love it, and I personally hate it. Because I can never get it to work the way I want it to. You see all these weird little lines on everything? You can grab them and sort of move them around and be a little more specific with it, but then it... What are you doing? Trying to grab one. Be okay with it. Oh my god. I don't know how to use vectors. They can just be really annoying. I just want to move it away, and then take it down. I'm sure there's a better shortcut for this. I'm sure there's a better tool. And I think you can you use Liquify? No, you can't use Liquify. You can only use Liquify on raster layer. Cool. That's not what I like. So, okay, object. Selection mode. I'm not trying to select it. I'm just trying to move it. Move control points. Okay. Try that. How do I stop selecting it? Oh my god, I hate I hate vector layers. Oh my gosh, some people adore them because it means like if you made something wobbly, then you can just like slightly fix it and readjust it, but I can't figure it out. I don't like it. I would rather do this. I would rather just like, you know, grab the base color here and I'd rather just erase it, right? But the problem is, it's a vector layer. So if you do that and you go back to showing all the points, now it's like, what did you do to it? How do you work with this? Ugh. I guess I can see how it'd be nice to be able to drag a point or two around to make slight adjustments. Oh, yeah, no, that's what it's mainly for. But, like, I hate that sometimes. I hate this. Oh, and if you... that only works if you use it as, like, a transparent color. If you try to just erase it, then it'll, like, snap, which is great in some cases. But it also means that you can't just do it, like... just regularly. Can't do. Okay. You see, it's like not doing it correctly, so if you want to do that, you have to use a transparent brush to cross it over. And then if you do that, then you get really weird again with the control points. So yeah. There's a lot of people who love them. I'm not one of those people. I'd rather just, you know, suffer and paint over. If I need a thinner line, then I just erase. It's also infinitely scalable, unlike raster. Perfect for logos and prints. Yes. Very great for logo design, very great for print design. Not really great for illustration. I know there's some people who love them for vector. For clean line art, I can't do it. I don't like it. It can force your entire line to scale, or it can affect the points next to the ones you adjust. I use those in CNC or CAD models. Yeah, it makes sense for those. I just wouldn't do it for being a painter. It's very weird. I'd rather just, you know, suffer a little bit and continue going over things. I just think that's kind of like a better way to go about it, personally, at least for my workflow. I just realized her hair feels a little bit large here. Just a tiny bit. Bring it back a little. There we go. Used to make logos in vector. I still don't like making logos in vector in general. Like, even just basic vector, where you just have, like, the regular points and you're not using, like, a textured brush or whatever. It's like drawing with a compass and straight edge / French curve as opposed to freehand. Yeah. It forces all plotted values. It is far too mechanical for organic or fluid dynamic subjects. Yes, I agree. I know there's people that will do their line art, because, okay, the one thing that I understand that people like about it, right? Let me make another vector layer here. You know, I was saying that you can't make it erase where you want. Let's say you're doing hair, right? Let's say you're doing something like this. Because I see people do this all the time, and this is, like, why they say they adore vector. They're doing something like this. And then they grab an eraser, and then they just go, like, where is it? Where's vector eraser to line? Can't even do it now. Basically, it should just erase across it. Is it this one? This one. There we go. People love it for that reason. Where you can just, in one tap, you can, like, choose how you want to do it if it overlaps. So if you're doing, like, then people like going with an eraser and just doing, like, boop, 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 boop. Done. And I get it. That is quite efficient. I get it. There is definitely an efficiency level there. I still hate how they work. But yeah. I need to add in her headband real quick. That is my rant on vectors. They work great for some people. It's more of a graphic design-y look. It is. And lately, I'm falling in love with the look of Renaissance painting. So, kinda goes against what I'm after. And grab this here as well. That's like more or less how it's gonna look by the end, I think. Is there anything else that feels off? I feel like the tail is like slightly off. Not really sure how to fix it though. Where's our line art for this? Here? Yeah. I'll just make it a little bit taller, larger. No, where's the line art? There we go. I think there's not enough shape definition here. It might go over, but I think it looks better. And then we'll make this go over a little bit more. Yeah, tiny change, but you know what? I'm gonna stick with it. It might get cut off on stream, but I think it looks better. Better shape language. Alright. Need to make a version where the tail's so big you almost don't see her behind it. Oh, hello! Welcome in, welcome in! How come I've been offered a subscription? Artemis, send gifted subs. I hope you're having a good day, hello. Like I missed something here. This part, okay. Oh, and then this is supposed to be in blue. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Alright. Okay, last little thing I want to do, because this is bothering me now. When you're drawing animal ears, you need to not make them super flat in the back of the head, because it looks like it has no weight. So you just add a little bit here, so it has more of a 3D effect going on. Otherwise it doesn't look like they're sitting on anyone's head, it just looks like they're behind them. So that is last thing you want to do, is make sure that there is volume to the ears. Now I can use the weird emote! The weird emote! Oh my gosh. The emote is of my VTuber mascot. She needs more emotes. She is not entirely just a fully... She She's not, like, completely, stupid. She just kind of looks like that in that one emote. Oh. So that's how normal people see Prism. I know, I really need to make more emotes. It is on my list. I know. I'm going to, I promise. Prisma is the truth of the universe. I promise I will get more Prism. I'm adding a little bit of blush because she has that in the E1 art, so I think it works. Me watching while the best I can do is stick figures, and they aren't even that good. Stick figures is how everybody starts. Literally. Stick figures is the way of starting. Yeah, this is prep work. I like having operators on the screen next to me for whatever event we're doing. So tomorrow we're gonna be going through Break the Ice, and I'm excited because I don't know anything about Pram yet. I don't know anything about our little snow leopard friend, and I'm excited to because, you know, she was my chosen 5-star and I want to learn more about her. It's not the look of stupidity, it's the face of someone who's seen the truth. It's like, what do you go- have you seen the meme where it's like, a rabbit versus a hare? And it's like, rabbit, cute little innocent fluffy bun who can do no wrong. Hare understands the truth of the universe. Star's doing the Pram one, and she'll also do a Silver Ash one, but it will be a stick figure. You know that she is very floof. That's like 80% of all you need. Fair enough. Can confirm. Alright. We have been going for a bit today, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the line art off stream, because the line art just takes, like, way too much concentration, and I have not yet learned how to do that on stream comfortably. But tomorrow we start Break the Ice. I think we have, like, I think there's, like, one record or something before then, but then we can jump in. I'm excited. And I will see if I can get Pram next to us here for tomorrow. I think that'll be really fun. If you have not yet, consider joining the Discord. We have an Arknights channel. There are threads for anything that would be spoilers for me, so anything that is past Act 1 or anything related to Break the Ice, please talk about it in the spoiler threads. But we would be happy to have you. It is a very kind, crazy, chaotic community filled with a bunch of rambunctious bunnies. And if you haven't yet, definitely consider subscribing on YouTube or following on Twitch. I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow, where we will be able to see this fully finished, and we'll see how it all goes. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you may be in the world or the worlds beyond. And I will see you all later. Thank you so much. Basically, in this event, there's ice and you break it. Good to know. Alright. Wishing you well.